Wagwan, everybody, and a happy new year from everybody here at AFTV and Fourever Arsenal. We are back, right? Big up to everybody, to Curtis, to Jack, and to Lee, who's got his phone out, right? Happy New Year. Are you taking a selfie there?
Well,
happy New Year to you.
My screen's small, and Ryan's just asking me why, so I'm just sending him a photo of it, like, you know. So I don't know, like, I'm not in a great place at this moment in time. I can tell you, like, you know what I mean. So I'm just.
What's up?
I don't know. I was just like, I don't know. My back's playing up, and I think it's all that jumping up I done like last night, Rob. You know what I mean? 4 times I jumped up yesterday. I thought, like, you know, that was a bit mad, but like, yeah. So same rule with my screen. It's only I can't see nothing. It's everybody's midgets. You know what I mean? So I can't see nothing. So
but don't worry about it, because we can see you. We can see you, and it's all good. And listen, I'm sorry about the bad back. What you been putting on it?
I've had the patches and all that. What it is the sciatica nerve. It's in my leg. It's just it's horrendous at this moment in time. It's just unbearable. I haven't been out of sleep, and I don't know. It's just come on this morning, really bad. I think because I was out last night, I've probably walked on it. I don't know what I've done. Walked on it too much or whatever. I don't know, but. Carry on. The show must go on, as they say, like, you know.
The show, you know, this is why, you know what I mean, we've got to rate the old timers like Lee Judges, you know what I mean? Like, listen, man, that's absolute soldier. You know what I mean? Like, there's many other people who may have cried off and said they're sick and that, but not Lee Judges,
no,
mate.
I'm here.
He soldiers through.
I'm here.
He soldiers through the pain barrier, right? Probably a lot to do with that. Maybe if we'd have been on the end of a 4-1 defeat, he might not be here today, all right? But a 4-1 victory, guys. I mean, I am still buzzing. I can tell you, yeah, I got home last night. Got home probably about 2 o'clock in the morning after doing all the interviews and everything. Lee's really struggling. He's having to walk around. He's having to walk it off, people.
It don't help that he records in that dungeon, does it? You know what I mean? With Luke Littler's dartboard there and the snooker table.
Oh my God, you lot are evil, man. The man's in pain.
Wait, by the way, Rob, look at the chair that he's. No wonder his back's mashed up. What kind of chair is
on that, Lee, man? Come on. What is that?
Can't we get him a proper chair?
It looks like the electric chair, isn't it?
1970, that is that chair.
Oh yeah, we're evil, you know. The man's in serious pain, right? And you're there taking the mic. Curtis, you're bad, man.
Look at that. No, we got to put together and get him a chair, lads. Come on.
Next time you want predictions, we'll buy you a chair. You need one, mate.
One of them massive. I can tell you, right? I've had that sciatica nerve thing a few years ago, man. It ain't no joke. Oh. When that, you know, and you don't know where to sort of. It's just a real pain that just lingers, and it's not nice, man.
Listen,
I feel your pain.
Yes, I wouldn't wish this on a Spurs fan. I really wouldn't, like, you know what I mean? It's that bad. It's that bad.
Yeah, no. But respect for being here. But I know about you guys, right? Last night I got home. I got home about 2 a.m. after doing all the interviews and that, and I was still absolutely buzzing. I watched the highlights of the show, of the game. Then I watched the highlights again. I watched the Sky highlights. Then I watched the BBC highlights, right, which is sort of an extended highlights. Then I went to bed. Then I woke up this morning and I watched the highlights again on BBC, and I watched the highlights on Sky, and I've got the whole game to watch. I might not be able to get that in today because I've got a few things to do. But honestly, I was buzzing. We've all wanted to see a performance that gets us off of our seats. That was it. It was incredible. And all of them Villa fans, yeah, I remember, right? This is why I really enjoyed this one. I remember when we lost to them, that last minute sickener at Villa Park, right? I remember that was only about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And when I came out of that ground, right, and they saw me, they surrounded me. It wasn't not in a bad way, but they surrounded me, right? And they gave me so much stick. Right, and they're all filming. Remember, it was going all around the internet. It went viral. They was all filming me and stuff like that, and I was just there. You notice I'm just there smiling, say, "Okay, you're all right, cool. I'll take it. But last night, where were they? Before the game finished, they were all gone, man. Right? You know, it was about 15 minutes left. Right? You looked on that away end, right? And out of the 3,500 fans that came from Villa Park, there's probably about 500 left. Right, they'd all beaten a retreat. So where were they? I didn't even have no one to try and go out after the game. But no, it was honestly, that was a great performance by Arsenal in that second half. Reminded me of when we beat Bayern Munich, where it was very even in the first half, and then the second half we just came out and blitzed. Loved it, boys. Loved it. It's good. Bring the new year in.
And do you know what? I felt like that performance has been coming at it. We've just been missing the chances. You know,
Yeah.
even look at the first half. We had a couple chances, and you're thinking, you know, you got to put one of these away. Once the first one came, you do wonder when you see that second half and think, how have we made Wolves and Everton and games like that so difficult if that's what we're capable of doing? Because that second half felt like a champion's performance. That's what it felt like to me. I watched that second half thinking, wow, like we have torn them apart. Great to see Odegaard performing, you know, a player that I've questioned for a long time. He's got to have a bigger impact. I thought he was brilliant. I thought Zubimendi, it was so much. Trossard was brilliant. Gabriel, I mean, we all know how good he is. But sometimes, you know, when a player's out of the team and they come back, you realise even more, like, I mean, he gets the first goal. His aggression at the back, his leadership. He's absolutely now a world-class centre-back. There's just no doubt about it. Like, he's genuinely, I think he's one of the best centre-backs in the world now. And when you think where he was when he first came to the club and, you know, he had the odd little mistake in him, the rash moment, the maturity that's come through his game now. And I think he's one of the leaders of this group as well, even without wearing the armband. And I think what really I have to give a lot of credit to the team for last night is obviously we was in the group chat when Rob put it in that Declan Rice was out. We were all like, how are we going to cope against Villa's midfield with no Rice? And we adapted very well without him being there, you know, and I thought it was good that we showed we could perform without him being there. I thought Onana coming off at half time was a big plus point for us because he drove through our midfield a few times in that first half. And, you know, we took advantage of him coming off. And then that first 7 minutes, 2-0 up, you know, I love that Odegaard through ball to Zubimendi. Just split them apart. That's the kind of pass we've been waiting for. And we'll talk about it in more detail. But for me, last night, we saw one of the moments of the season with that Gabriel Jesus goal. You know, I was genuinely so happy for that guy, you know, to come back from an ACL. And I'm sure Jack will mention our number 14 at some stage, but that goal sort of made you think, oh, you know what I mean? He made it look so easy. So, but no, it was a great night all round. And I'm happy for you boys who go to the games because sometimes I'm thinking, boy, man, cold night and scraping past Wolves. You know, you deserve a performance like that. And the atmosphere looked good last night as well. So, yeah, big positives.
Yeah, the atmosphere looked great. Sat at home as well. Sorry. And I just wanted to say again what Curtis was saying. Gabriel, like we all admit, like we've all known he's one of the best in the world. But I like Curtis said, when you're without him for so long and then he comes back and you realise how good he actually is, like I'll happily say he's the best centre back in the world, especially over the past like 6-8 months. I don't think there's anyone that comes near him in terms of Van Dijk's been pretty poor this season to his standards. The Real Madrids and Barcelonas haven't got the centre backs that they used to have. City haven't really got a nailed down pair really, Gvardiol and Diaz. So I'm watching him last night, like everything, both boxes, the way he leads on the pitch, the way even off the pitch after the game, he's celebrating blocking shots in the 88th minute is absolutely outstanding. But I wanted to give credit to Mikel Arteta as well. I thought the way we were tactically set up yesterday, I thought was sublime. I thought we gave Villa, especially in that second half, nothing, and we were missing, like you said, Declan Rice, maybe that midfield control we thought we would lack yesterday. And I thought the way Arteta had us set up, I'm all good criticising him when he's not making rotational subs and he's not giving players rest when I think he should. But last night, tactically, as a manager, I thought he was absolutely unbelievable. Against Unai Emery, against the most informed team in the league at this present time, we gave them nothing in the second half. And I don't think that was just down to individual performances. I thought, as a team, collectively, tactically, unbelievable, world class.
Yeah. I have to say that I thought like the performance second half was fantastic. But the biggest thing that we had yesterday and the confidence I had from it was we was missing Declan Rice, we was missing Calafiori as well. But then I looked at the team and I said, still a good team, still strong in the back and in all areas. And then looked at the bench and I thought, wow, you know what I mean? It was as strong as I've ever seen it, like, with options on there. And they just produced a wonderful, wonderful performance. And Odegaard, that goal that he produced for Zubimendi, he wins the ball. A lot of people criticise him for his physicalities at times as well, but he was the one that won the ball back, drove into their defence, and then the pass is sublime. Really see that. Zubimendi has to just run onto it, and he makes the pass makes the finish simple. I know it's not, but you know what I mean. It was it was all in his stride, but unbelievable. And the icing on the cake is Jesus. I think he's been brilliant when he's come on in the last 3 or 4 games. And even when he started, he's made a difference. And it just changes the dynamics of the team. And I'm watching that game and I'm thinking, 2-0 up, you take that, and I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure Jack said 2-0, so we've got to score another goal here somewhere along the line. And but you just sensed that there was more goals in it. I honestly felt that, and that was the good thing about the game for me, is that we went 1-0 up, and we didn't sit back like we've done in the past. You know what I mean? It was then, right, we're going to go forward again. We went 2-0 up, and then I see Norgard coming on, and I'm going, no, don't. We can get 3 or 4 here. We then get 3 because he didn't have time to make that substitution. Then he brings him off, and we still was at it going forward. I think that was if we can carry on doing that, I think it's good. And maybe my mate said this yesterday. Maybe we've not done that in these last 4 or 5 games because we haven't had that partnership at the back. It hasn't been there for 6 weeks. When we played Aston Villa last time, we didn't have either one of them in there, let alone both of them last night. I think it made such a difference to our attitude of how we play. We didn't drop back. We didn't defend it. We went and went and went. And I think that is down to the trust that the team and the management have of those 2 central defenders, because I think that was key yesterday for me. That was the biggest thing for me. I know we won, but it was how we went and won it. We went 1-0 up and said, no, we're going with 2. And they are the best team in the league at this moment in time, as the statistics prove and all that. They could not live with us last night. That's the best team in current form. Could not live with us. That's Bayern Munich that have come here. Couldn't live with us. Atletico Madrid, one of the best defensive tactically teams about, could not live with us when we was at it. And I think that's the biggest plus I take from it yesterday. We could have won that game 5-6. And they're a very, very good team. And for me, listen, the one thing I'll take away from this season, when we come out of Aston Villa, Rob got all the stick and all that, but us Arsenal fans and everybody was hurting. That was a major blowout to lose a game of football. Last kick of the game, give it your all and lost in a very, very good game of football. I was hurting. All those Aston Villa fans were giving it. For me last night, I know that every single one of them went home last night feeling how I felt when I went to Villa Park. And thank you, Arsenal, for doing that, because that is what it's about. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure that Arsenal used that energy. How they felt as well, all the players, you remember, all on the floor, laying down, all social media, all taking a mickey out of us and all that, like, fuel. And it was fuel last night, and it was fantastic. What a great night. Well done, the team. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And I think the point that you guys have all made about Gabriel, immense. Absolutely. I mean, there were some unbelievable performances. For Zubimendi was brilliant. Trossard, how good was he? Both, even in the first half, he was our best player, I thought. He was outstanding in the game. I mean, it's quite a quiet night for Saka. Most things, which is quite unusual, most things came down that left-hand side with Trossard. And whether it was him assisting, creating, he was absolutely outstanding. Great goal by him as well. But I just felt that, when you got Big Gabby back in that team, man, he made a tackle. No, there was a little confrontation with him in the first half with Ollie Watkins. I was like, yeah, that's what I like, man. You know what I mean? Like, he was straight up in Watkins' face, like, that's what you got to do when you're playing in these games. I mean, he knows what it's all about. And this is the thing, right? And this is what us as fans sometimes do. We're too quick to jump on people, right? The team, all right, we have not been at our best in certain games, but we've been getting the job done. But why haven't we been at our best in certain games? You can see the difference when we've got more of a full complement of players like last night, and you've got that bench. Look at the differences that makes. So like you said, Lee, when we play Villa away, that 12:30 kickoff away from home, a team that's absolutely flying, and you go into that game, you got no Gabriel, you got no Saliba. We've literally, this is the first time we've seen a lot of these players all together. And then even then we go into this one without Rice and Calafiori. You can argue those two players have been two of our best players this season, and they were missing. And we've had to cope with that all season. And I really do think this squad has really performed. I've heard fans, it's not sustainable. And this, I'm like, yeah, well, listen, it's about getting through these tough patches. And if we hadn't have had this squad, and the other thing we do, we write players off quickly, right? Martin Odegaard has been written off by a load of fans. So I'm not saying you guys haven't written him off, because he's got the quality. And I'm not saying that he's not deserved to be criticised, because he has not been the same Martin Odegaard. We saw last season, injuries affected him. He was out for over 3 months, came back, weren't quite on it. This season, let's not forget, he started off the season, got that really bad shoulder injury, came back, weren't still quite right, got the shoulder injured again, was out again, right? We have to understand sometimes players, if you're not quite, they're playing with a bit of an injury or not quite up to speed yet. Now he's back to the Martin Odegaard. Last couple games, that's the Odegaard we know. He's been...
And he had a knee injury as well, Rob.
Sorry?
He had a knee injury. Yeah. He had the 2 shoulder injuries, then a knee injury.
Exactly. And people...
It'll take him a while.
Yeah, and then people just be like, yeah, get him out, man. Start Wanyeri. He's no good. We do that a lot. We're ready to dispose of why not sometimes got to give a player a chance to kind of get back up there? And I know patience is not in we're being chased down by City, so it's hard to be patient with players. But sometimes we do need to be a bit patient. And Odegaard yesterday, I thought, captain's performance. There was nobody questioning his captaincy last night, because he led from the front. And like you said, Lee, that Zubimendi goal, he wins it in midfield, then drives forward and has the composure to pick an unbelievable pass. And it was such an outstanding performance in that second half. Old Unai Emery, right, got the storm down the tunnel, like you guys said, didn't want to shake nobody's hand, right? Emi Martinez losing it. He'd been wasting so much time in that first half and getting away with it. What was this referee on? I think my daughter was saying to me that in the first half, the ball was only in play for about 20 odd minutes. It was a definite tactic of this, slow it right down, frustrate.
Yeah.
But Martinez, right, when it came to it, he fumbled the ball, and he's the one who caused that first goal. You see him walking down the tunnel and having to be restrained and that. Have some of that, you lot. Yeah? Have some of that, Villa. Yeah? Right? I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And like you said, Lee, that's the second time we've played against a team that's come to the Emirates absolutely flying. Bayern Munich, they were unbeaten in all comps. In the Champions League, in their league, they hadn't lost a game. They were battering teams. We took them apart. And we've done the same again yesterday. And we did that without Rice. We did that without Declan Rice. I mean, yeah, unbelievable performance yesterday. And that is what you call a statement. That's a statement win. When you see that City, listen, they play tonight and more than likely they'll beat Sunderland. But that's in their heads now. They're like, hey, hold on. These men are serious. Because they've been putting in a couple of big wins recently. And the narrative's always different on them, isn't it? They win 2-1 as the champions. Well, we win 2-1. against Brighton, all the scraped. And we all know when we watched that game, we didn't really scrape it. We had loads of chances, should have won it easier. Marty said it yesterday, Lee. Remember, we was doing the starting 11. He said, it's coming. Someone's going to get battered. Because when you look at a lot of the games, Wolves, terrible. We were lucky to get the win there. We got away with that one, yeah? But Everton, we should have won that by about 3 or 4-0. We had the chances. Remember them chances? Trossard, Saka, right? Brighton, we had enough chances. Put that game out of sight. Martinelli, right? We've had games like that recently where we've created a lot of chances.
In the cup.
Palace should have been 1-1. Should have been out of sight. Marty said it's coming, man. We're creating chances. To put the Wolves game aside, chances are being created. And last night, and like you said, Lee, when I looked on that bench and I saw what was ready to come on in case it ain't working, can we injury-free for the second part of the season? If we can, we got a chance.
Rob, do you know what is the big thing about that is? I actually looked at that last night. Is you got Calafiori and Declan Rice? They're guaranteed. I think they're starters, guaranteed. If you got your best 11, they're 2 starters, right? So they're going to come in. So that means then there's another 2. 2 have got to be left off of that bench, right? Mosquero's not about at the moment, neither because of injury, so he would be at least on the bench. So there's 3 players there that would come into the team, leaving that 3, or there's got to be 3 from either that team or that bench that are not going to even start games. And that's how strong that we are. You know what I mean? Like going into the season. Unbelievably as good as we were yesterday. Martinelli didn't come on yesterday. Eze didn't come on yesterday. Havertz didn't get any sort of minutes at this moment in time. That was always a good thing for me. And I think that the big thing for me yesterday was without Rice, what we need is players to step up. You know, it's all right when Declan Rice is running around dominating a game of football and you can go, all right, I'll let him do that and I can just do my thing. But when he's out, that is when you need to be, right, it's my turn now to step up and be the player. I thought Zubimendi and Odegaard, because he's out of that team, they stepped up so impressively yesterday that gives me confidence going into the next game and the next game after that. And I honestly think, I said it, when we played Palace, I was encouraged by what we'd done against Brighton. 26 shots we had. I think we had about 20 odd shots yesterday as well against Villa. You know, the performances have been better over the last couple of weeks, And do you know what? I'm going to say this now. I think we've been much better as a team collectively since that diabolical Wolves game. I honestly think things were said after that game, despite winning that game. The performance levels weren't good enough that day. Were unacceptable, and I think that the players and management have echoed that. Since that game, that may be a blessing in disguise. You know what I mean? Wolves, as bad as it was, might be that we look back at one of those moments again when. Do you remember when we won the league back in '98? We lost at home to Blackburn 3-1.
Yeah,
and we never lost a game after that. And you're thinking, right, there was, all the players talk about there was meetings after that game and all that, Well, I think maybe we had that sort of meeting on the back of a win, even though the performance was so bad. We managed to somehow win that game. And I think that, standards dropped that day and they're not going to make them drop again, So, listen, it's going to take a very, very good team to beat us, Rob, or we drop to those standards again.
You know what? Just before, because I need to ask, first of all, Curtis, as an ex-striker, right, about Gyokeres, and also I also need to get the opinions of Jack on Gyokeres as well, right? Because out of the team, right, we do have to mention it. But just before we do that, right, I just got to mention this, right? Obviously, the show brought to you by William Hill's Final One Standing, which is for football's ultimate free-to-play eliminator game. We've been talking about it a lot on the show. And today, we got a very special announcement, right? In case you didn't hear, right? Somebody won the big £500,000 jackpot. It's finally been won. Remember at the start of the season, right back in August, we kicked off, right? A lot of us have fallen by the wayside. I remember I got knocked out by Everton drawing their game. But right from the start of the season, it kicked off, right? And there's been 19 rounds of winners, right? There were 7 players remaining, right? In the game, and they backed Burnley in yesterday's game. A lot of them because they had no choice. And Burnley, of course, they lost the game, which means that the jackpot, the £500,000 jackpot, is being split between those 7 players that were left remaining, right? That's £71,428.57 each. That's not a bad way to end the year. Happy New Year to them. Congratulations.
Happy New Year.
71 grand each. Oh my days, right? And that's not all. Because this weekend alone, there was a £320,000 that was paid out across the final one standing games. We saw a £200,000 winner, a £500,000 winner, 5 people sharing a £20,000 prize, another 5 shared a 50k prize. So that's a total of £820,000 paid out. And obviously, real players, real winners, real money. Absolutely brilliant. And, we got a final one standing. Every time you play it, there's always, a winner guaranteed. But, wow, unbelievable. Congratulations going out to that person. If you haven't played yet, by the way, or you've been knocked out earlier, don't worry. There's a brand new game that launches every Premier League week, giving you another shot at it. To be involved, all you got to do is download the William Hill app, scan the QR code on the screen, or click the link below. You got to be 18 plus, based in the UK. Always gamble responsibly, and full terms and conditions apply. But that is it. The 500 grand has been paid out. But don't worry, another competition coming. Guy, unbelievable, isn't it? Unreal.
Well, I've got to start again. I don't know about you
Well,
guys, but
yeah.
I have.
Funny enough, right? I went this week in the new game. I went Chelsea. They drew last night with Bournemouth. And I remember I was on a show on DR, and everybody on that show, apart from me, went for Man United. They were playing Wolves. And I was like, I don't trust United. And I've seen Wolves come to us and put in a decent performance. Liverpool, they're a bit unfortunate to not get away with a point there, right? Also, when they played Villa, and I was like, I don't trust United to beat Wolves. And it was a draw. And Wolves even could have won it. So, but new game again this week. But well done congratulations going out to all them winners. Guys, talk to me about Victor. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be negative, but we have to.
Yeah. I'll
let my pennies worth it. I thought he was okay yesterday. I thought he had a couple of good chances. The header was unlucky with the movement. We was talking about the movement, Jack. His actual movement for that goal was for that header that went over the bar in the first half was very, very good. Proper centre forwards movement. But I just think he needs a goal. I thought his all-round performance was okay yesterday. I know what we need better than okay, but I think if he scores last night, people would have been saying that was a good performance from him, but we all know that he's here to score goals and he's not doing that at the moment. But I did think it was a little bit better than the previous games that he's played.
I mean, yeah, for me, me and Robbie were defending him in the previous show. That first half, I'll be honest, lads, I thought he was poor. That one where Gabriel rolls the ball to him, he doesn't hold it, and they nearly scored. Watkins puts it wide. I was like, bro, you cannot. Holding the ball up as a striker is just pure basics. It's as basic as it gets. As you said, I thought the movement was better, getting across the defender. I thought the first one was unlucky. The second one, I think Trossard whipped it in and he puts it wide at the near post. I thought he should have hit the target. Second half, I think the biggest compliment I can give him, he put a shift in. But if we're being honest, if that was Havertz, I'd be criticising it. If it was Eddie and Ketty, I'd be criticising it. So we are halfway through the season now, 19 games in. We're sitting here halfway through. We're saying that signing hasn't really worked as of yet. Am I saying he's a write-off? No, I don't think it is. I think we've still got to work with him. If he needs a goal, his confidence looks shot at the moment. He also knows every game, 60th minute, 70th minute, he's coming off. He knows Jesus or Havertz are waiting. And then Jesus comes on and scores that goal and it looks so effortless and you think, oh, man. The one thing I'll say that I liked, and I know it's a little thing and people won't make much of it, I like the fact that Gyokeres, after the game, he went on the pitch and he was hugging Jesus and looked visibly happy for him. And I thought, most strikers, we're miserable when we don't score. We're very selfish. I thought, you know what? At least he's invested in the group and he realizes that it's not just about him. But again, it'll be interesting now whether Arteta sort of goes with him against Bournemouth or does Jesus get the start now. But yeah, he's desperate for a goal. He needs a goal badly. But yeah, I'll hand over to Jack, who is waiting.
I wanted to be positive, I genuinely wanted, and I don't want it to be negative. Obviously, it wasn't a horrendous performance. He's definitely had worse, but I think it was just he just kept reevaluating all my points. I think that what you just mentioned, when Gabriel rolled that ball into him and it bounced off his shins 4 times, he looked like he's about to fall over, and they go and nearly score from it. When I'm thinking that is the most basic hold-up play, just control the ball and pass it, and he couldn't do that. As well as the fact that he's not finishing the chances. I mean, the header. What I will say, like Lee said, I actually saw him get in front of the centre-back to get to that header, which is probably something I've not seen for him for the past month or so. So at least it's like he's listening to the criticism of he needs to move more in the box, and he's done it. But yet again, the header didn't go in. So was it really that much of a big of a deal? And then yet again, Jesus comes on, and we just look better as a football team. Jesus himself, someone who's probably not known as being a clinical finisher, makes a finish like that look so easy. It just sort of puts more questions over Gyokeres. And it's the fact that, once again, I say, imagine when we signed him, you thought we'd be sat here halfway through the season, and we're not celebrating the fact he scored loads of hat-tricks and loads of goals. We're celebrating the fact that he looks friendly with Jesus after a game for taking his position. And it's imagine that's what we're celebrating and not the goals and stuff. And I get it. We won the game 4-1. Genuinely, I thought it was an amazing performance, and he did put a shift in. He does work hard, but I don't think it's an attitude issue or anything like that. I generally think it's just a quality issue. I generally think he does lack certain qualities to play at the level that we demand him to in our team. And I think it was proven the most that when he tried to, you know what, I'm not just going to stand here and wait for the ball. I'm going to try and drop deep, and I'm going to try and do these things. And he just doesn't have the quality to do it. His first touch isn't there. He can't turn quick enough, and that's the thing that worries me. It's not I hate Gyokeres and it's a hit piece. It's it's the quality factor, and I feel like some of them things he's not a young 21-year-old. Can you really teach a 27, 26, 28-year-old striker how to trap a ball as a European striker? It's
No.
I feel like you should have that in the locker already, and I don't know. It's getting to the point halfway through the season. 3 non-penalty goals, 5 goals for Robbie. It's at the point where I'm thinking Jesus is probably going to have more goals than them in a couple of weeks, and he's off the back of 2 massive knee injuries. So.
Who would you start at Bournemouth?
I mean, I said it last game. I said I want to see Jesus start and then Gyokeres come on and play against tired legs and see if that makes any difference, because at the end of the day, if we're winning games, I don't care who's playing up front. If we're scoring goals like last night, I don't care who's scoring them. But it would be interesting to see. I think Jesus has shown last night, I need to start a game. He's shown he's got the quality. He's got a goal. He basically made the goal against Wolves. I know it went down as an own goal, but it was his header and positioning and stuff that got the goal in the net. I think he's shown that he can start a game for Arsenal, and Gyokeres is in the worst form of his recent career. So if there's going to be a time to start him, especially if Havertz coming back, if not, I don't think Jesus is going to get a start soon anyway, if not now.
Sorry, Jack. Are you having that bet with Robbie that you put in the group
Oh,
chat?
I'll happily take that bet.
Officially taking that bet?
No, I'll have that bet.
I'll happily take that bet.
You lose that bet, Jack, I'll be honest.
I mean, Eddie Nketiah, because I watched him play
I'll take
against
it.
Spurs. Right, he was
20
terrible.
quid.
Right, and you know
20
what I mean?
quid?
Huh?
20 quid.
I'll give you 100 quid, mate. You know what I mean?
I'll go a bit higher than that, Jack. Come on.
I'm still a junior, guys.
He's
I'm not
flexing
Don
his
Robbie.
muscles now, Jack. He's
I'm not
flexing
Don
his
Robbie.
muscles.
Come on.
Yeah,
20
no,
quid,
but
mate. Come on.
when you come running up your mouth, you come bold, man. You got to come with
That's all right.
20 quid.
If I'm not mistaken, I've got some money due to me in the next podcast, so it's right. Maybe I'll put some of that in there. It's all good.
I'd still, this might be controversial. I'd still start him against Bournemouth, right? Because I said that we got to remember. I said this last night. I was doing an interview. I said we've got to remember Jesus. He was still coming back, right? And I don't want this guy breaking down again. He's had 2 ACLs. He's looked brilliant as an impact off the bench. Came on, saved us against Wolves. Great goal last night. And every time he's come on, even when he's not scored, he's made an impact. You know what I mean? Held the ball well. He's been good against the tired legs. And I think I know he scored last night, but let's just be careful because start him, and I know what us fans are like. We start him against Bournemouth. Next minute, he's limping after half time. He's out for a few weeks. Everyone starts cussing Arteta. Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't start him yet. I still want to see him have. I think what we're doing with him is perfect. Bringing him on, tired legs. I mean, it was a fantastic finish last night, and we know Jesus. When it comes to skill levels and that, he's way above Gyokeres. He's probably way above literally the majority of the players in the team. Probably apart from, say, a Trossard. But yeah, I do think with Gyokeres, I think it's a lot of it's confidence. The only thing you can take from yesterday, and you know, I heard people saying, "Oh, he had 2 easy headers." They weren't, man. Even when you watch those back, the first one is dropping over a defender. It's very difficult to get any sort of proper direction on that because it drops down over. He could just get his head on it and it's sort of looped up a bit. The second one, he gets across, but that's a half chance. That's not a proper easy chance. That's a half chance. The only credit I give to his game yesterday is like what you guys said. His head didn't drop. He put the work in. It was like him. It was his hold up play that actually in the second half, which was a lot better. That he sort of got the ball into the corner. We won a corner off of it that led to the goal. And he was more about the place, but he desperately needs a goal. I think, he desperately needs a goal. And, a bit like what I was saying earlier, when we talk about players like Odegaard and, I still would give him a little longer, but he's under serious pressure because now breathing down his neck is not just Jesus. He's also got Havertz, you see him warming up there. He's getting ready to come back in. He's going to get game soon, right? And on top of that, you also know you can put a Marino in there as well. So he's got to get his act together very soon. But that's the good thing about having this squad. But he's definitely got to get his act together. Actually, on that, Marino, was he lucky to survive being on the pitch, having been on a yellow already? You got that?
Yes.
Should have been sent off.
Should have been sent off. When you say like Man City, you know what I mean? Diaz should have been sent off, and I was calling for that. That's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. Let off.
They do say, right? I spoke to a referee a couple of months ago. We had another incident like that where someone should have been sent off. I felt should have been sent off for us. And he said to me, he goes, Robbie, he goes, how they referee games is that not every yellow card is like after you get the first yellow, to get a second yellow, the bar is higher. Right? They have that deliberately to not send players off willy-nilly. So the bar is a lot higher on the second yellow. And I think that's why he survived it.
If that's the case, Rob, then there's inconsistencies, isn't there? There's always going to be like, you're never going to get what referees should be doing because, it's a discretion of the referee. Like, you know what I mean? Listen, I don't care what anybody says. Diaz should have been sent off against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest then could be like relegated over that decision because, the bar wasn't quite high enough on this time. Crap, it was a sending off. And last night's was a sending off as well. And what makes it more of a sending off, I don't know if you see it, and I don't know what Marino was trying to do, is that he ran off like I thought he was going to go down the tunnel at one stage, you know what I mean, and try and hide it. His guilt was so so obvious. It's a sending off. It wouldn't have affected the game, I don't think, that much. But, I'm sorry if you're calling it out for Man City, you've got to call it out for Arsenal. That's a stonewall sending off yesterday. We got away with one.
Yeah. I still think Marino in midfield is, for me, I just don't see it. I'll be honest. You see it for Spain when he gets that freedom to go and score goals, but for us, this guy just don't. He spends a lot of the game rolling around looking for free kicks. He's not playing defense, splitting passes. Yeah, he does put a shift in, but I think that's the minimum you expect, really. And you know what's interesting yesterday? Just a couple of things tactically. I felt yesterday that Timber was inverting from the right. And Nketiah played more of a natural left-back role. And I think that's why Trossard's game actually improved even more, because he had that link-up where you see Saka was more isolated yesterday with having the full-back inverting, which is why I always say playing on the left for Arsenal is very difficult, because the full-back always tucks inside, which makes it hard. We actually had 39% possession in the second half, yet blew them off the pitch, which shows that controlled style and slow tempo, it's not always necessary. Sometimes it's get the ball, dominate, rather than just passing it around and sort of pretty slow football. I thought our tempo was a lot quicker in that second half. And just finally, I know Lee had spoken about Nketiah a little bit in the last show, but I thought he sniped him from the crowd and he tripped himself over, rolled the ball into him, man wiped himself out. I don't know what was going.
I tell you what, listen. I ain't got nothing against Nketiah. I think like he played very well yesterday, and I actually think that he looks a better left back. If I'll be honest, I thought his positional set. He's very aggressive in the tackle, and I think at times if you're playing as a left back, it's better that you're more aggressive out there than perhaps in the central defensive areas. But he's on a run there, and what a move it was, by the way, to get him in there, and then he just proved me right. Didn't he? He just crumbled in the box like a jigsaw, you know what I mean? And I did laugh, but I'll tell you what, he made. I don't know if you remember, he made an unbelievable interception when he slipped in the first half, and I thought, oh no, they're in again. I've been proved right, and he made a real unbelievable recovery, whatever you want to call it. But listen, I thought he was very, very good yesterday, And you know what? I was chatting to me mate Russ on the way home yesterday, and I hold my hands up a little bit. I do think that I'm a little bit critical of him because of my favouritism towards Miles Lewis-Skelly. And I think that's something that will probably come into play. And because he's one of our own, come through the ranks and all that, I am a little bit peeved, if you like, that he's being sort of discarded a little bit, So there is a method to my madness, as they say. There's a gender, a slight gender on it. Listen, I love Miles Lewis-Skelly, and it's true what Russ said. He goes, he give the ball away on a few occasions against Brighton, and I seem to let them go. You know what I mean? Go, oh, well, it's Miles. So listen, we've all got favourites, and unlike Mikel, they don't really matter if they're my favourites. But I have got a soft spot for. I've got a soft spot for Ethan. I really, meeting him in Singapore when I did, and he's a lovely kid. I feel for him as well, But what would you prefer, right? Us to win the league or Ethan playing or Miles Lewis-Skelly playing? I'm sorry. As much as I love them, I want us to win this league. So there's going to be casualties all along the way, and I think that's something we're going to have to accept.
Do we think Ethan's on his way out now? Then not in the squad while he's fully fit.
Yeah, I think alone would do him the world of good, Curtis. I'd be disappointed if we was to sell him. I think there are, people are saying, that we would sell him, but. Yeah. I don't think that we should sell him. I think that there's still room for him. He's 18 years of age, and I think that at the end of the day, you've got to be reminded of that. 18 and 19 you're at the beginnings of your career, not there's so much time on there. So actually, if you was to be really honest, they're probably advanced to what they should be at a club like Arsenal. Getting in the team. But I think over the years, because we've had some special teenagers and all that, we sort of like, obviously the Fabregases, Jack Wilshere's, Aaron Ramsey when he was 18. You think that this is going to happen all the time, but listen, when those guys were coming in, not Fabregas, but definitely Wilshere and Aaron, they weren't as good a side as what we've got now. So they're up against it, because of where we are as a football club now. And it's just, someone said to me once, I think it was, like timing in football is just as important as talent. And it's true, you know what I mean? Like, David Bentley was a fantastic player at Arsenal. But when he was coming through the ranks, he had Lundberg, Perez, Reyes in front of him, like, and Bergkamp. That's not great timing, is it? Like, you know what I mean? So there you go. So you have to have a little bit of luck with timing as well. And just with these guys, we're at a level at this moment in time where, the level that Odegaard produced yesterday, can Ethan's got to get to that. He's got to get to that, and it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, I mean,
talk about Ethan, but what about I just want to say, what about Eze? That's another game, 0 minutes, and it's getting to the point now. I think we could talk about Ethan and stuff, but Eze's got to get in the team first before we start thinking about Ethan, surely. And it's another game now, and I don't know about you guys, but I still generally think it's because of that Aston Villa game. I still think Mikel's in his head thinking, I can't believe you didn't track your man, because I understand not starting, especially the form Odegaard's in, and Odegaard's been brilliant recently, especially since he came back. But to not get a 10-minute run out, to me, especially in a game with 4-1 up in or 4-0 up in at the time, is a bit of a interesting one. Even on the left, I know we don't specifically like him on the left, but he can play there, and to not just get 10 minutes or something, I thought was a bit of a question mark. I'm not sure what you guys feel.
I don't know, man. To me, it's a squad. It's a squad. Like we're in a busy period of games. We got a game coming up again now in the next few days. These, there's champion. You look at January. We've got 9 games. He's going to get his game time. So I'm not worried about these sort of things at all at the moment. And when you got a good squad, whoever's performing, you're going to get this position. So it's a wake-up call for Eze. I love Eze as a player, but wake-up call for him. When you get in and you get your spot, you got to deliver. And that goes for a lot of players there. There's only a few players in that team that I think you're dead certs now. You know what I mean? I think, Saka's a dead cert, Gabriel, Saliba, dead certs, Timber, a dead cert, probably Calafiori at the moment. I think that if those 4 are fit, that's the back 4. And even, I'd say Timber, dead cert, Saliba, Gabriel, Raya, Declan Rice when he's fit, going to be looking like Odegaard's probably going to be, and up front Saka. I don't think anybody else is. Everybody else you've got to be putting in.
I think Zubimendi as well. I think he's been
Zubimendi, yeah. Zubimendi as
well. I think
do you know what?
Been outstanding with to come in at the beginning of this. Like we say, he needs time and he needs time. There's certain other players have been given time. He has come into this team, and we have not missed Thomas Partey one bit, and he was fantastic for us. Not one bit. We played it differently. He's just come in. He's at the peak of his powers at this moment in time. Physically, I've got to say, I've been impressed with him. Like, you know what I mean? Away wins, tackles, and all that.
Headers.
Sign of the season.
Yeah.
How did he win?
Sign of the season.
Yeah, how does he win all them headers that he wins?
Yeah.
There's another young person who's been the signing of the season, it looks like, and that's this guy, Jack. Right?
There, we've done it. It's official. I am the champ of
Another month.
2.
He's coming for that star, Lee.
Lee, that star's getting yanked, mate. That star's getting yanked.
It gives chirping away like 2-0, trust me, 2-0. When he predict 4-1, did he, like, you know what I mean? So up yours for a
Mate,
start.
Until you're at the top, I ain't hearing it.
Taken out.
Mate, Lee, you're washed, Lee. That star's from last year. You're washed.
It's still there outside. It's still there. But listen, you've got another visit to the shop. Well done. To win 2 months on the spin is unbelievable.
Might get a nice.
Listen, I've got to say, like, I'm going to say it. I don't like it, Rob. I don't like it, Curtis. But the 1-1 prediction at Palace and saying penalties, I have to say that was the moment that won it for you on this occasion. I have to say, hands up. But we go again next month now, So
I'm thinking,
what's your prediction?
Well, I was just going to say, I was thinking with the money at the shop, maybe somewhere here, get a nice big like Victor Gyokeres poster just to go behind me for the podcast. I think that'd be perfect. But if we want to talk about predictions, next game, you see, I don't like to overanalyze it now. I feel like the first thing that comes to my head has to be the right one. Well, I'm overdoing it. You know what? We'll play it safe. 2-0. 2-0 judging. I'm going to steal it. We've got to play it safe at the start.
Lee was going to go 2-0. I can tell by the laugh.
I was going to go 2-0. And do you know what? At this moment in time, I'm going to stick with that. Like, I think I'm going to go 2-0 as well. Because there's a lot of games in this month. And this is not the one to be changing it about. So I'm going to go the same 2-0.
I'm gonna go away from home. But listen, we're coming off the back of a great with Bournemouth got a good point.
Looks like Semenyo would be gone by then as well. They
haven't won in 5, Rob. Bournemouth.
Did you see the manager?
4 draws and a defeat.
Did you see their manager said that it's not his last game, Semenyo? And I'm
Man City done that, haven't they? We're signing him after you played against Arsenal.
Listen, I wish no injury on a player, but if they do that, and he was to say pick up something, that would serve him right? But I'll go 2-1. Arsenal.
2-1. It's a tough one because Bournemouth yesterday looked like they had a goal in them, didn't they, against Chelsea? But
they're a bit open though, Bournemouth, aren't they?
Yeah. They are. They haven't won their last 5 games, but they have drawn 4 of them.
Could be a big win, this, Curtis. Could be more than 2.
Yeah, look at. Do you know what? Come on, lads. Start of the year, 2-0. There's a lot of games in January.
Yeah, that's the way of think tactically.
What's this now? It's Copy Jack.
You got
Copy Jack. Is that what you lot are on now? Oh my God, you lot are a disgrace, man. You know what I mean?
You've got to hang on in there, and then at the end of January, I'll get creative. You know what I mean?
It's exactly right. You know,
all right.
It's marathon, not sprint.
Who starts up? Who starts up top for you in that game?
Me, Gyokeres. I'm with you, Rob. I'm sticking with Gyokeres. He came off yesterday when we was 3-0 up, was it? Yeah. So he's influencing the game, whether you like it or not. I can get what you want. Like, got to back him at this moment in time. We're still winning games with him up front. For me, I'm sticking with him for this one.
Yeah, I think I'd stick with Gyokeres purely down to the fact that means he's played every single team in the league, because obviously Bournemouth, the last team we haven't played. So then I can go, hey guys, he's played every single team and he's only got this many goals. So yeah, we're going to stick with him because I know he's not going to score. There we go.
Do you know what? Yeah, I would play Gyokeres. And I'll tell you why. Because after Bournemouth, we've got Liverpool. And I think after the Bournemouth game, if he still hasn't put in a performance, you've got to then change it for Liverpool. So I'd give him one more game.
Last chance.
Jesus. Last chance.
Last chance saloon, man. Right. Would you change would Eze get a start for you in that game or?
No, same midfield.
Yeah, no. I mean the problem we've got games in quick succession, haven't we? But I think the team's I'd probably pick the same 11, you know.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe if Rice is back. If Rice is back, I'd put him in for Marino.
Didn't they say he could be out for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Did they? Do you know? I didn't even see him.
He said yesterday it's swelling on the knee, and they'll see what it's going to be like in a couple of days. When he mentions couple of days, I'll tell
Yeah.
After Saliba,
that ain't
I don't
2
know.
days.
Swelling on.
No.
Surely, I don't think they'd risk him for that game. If we've got Liverpool next week, if there's a possibility of him being back for Liverpool, you can't play him against Bournemouth. So
I think it's
Apparently,
apparently
he played injured.
or something like, you know what I mean? Swollen knee. What, you know what I mean? Like if you get a swollen knee, it's either a serious one or it's a kick of some sort, like, you know. So I'm hoping it's just a kick, and it, you know.
Yeah.
when they see these, we got to see. They got scans, and they scan his knee, and it's not like when we get a swollen knee and we're wondering, or what.
No, they know straight away what it is.
Yeah.
What did you guys make? Actually, on that, what did you guys make of the whole furore yesterday about the news being leaked early, and it was crazy before the game. People having a go at different websites for leaking the news and stuff. I mean, for me, it was no big deal. But what did you
I think
guys?
it's done by the club. I think it's the club. I think when it comes from the Athletic, I've spoke to, luckily, I mentioned before, I spoke to Richard Garlick before, and I mentioned to him about some of the ITKs you see on Twitter, the hand of Arsenal's and stuff that seem to leak a lot of specific stuff, and he was like, the club are very well aware of all these people, and there are some, because I asked him, like, how comes Ornstein, for example, gets everything right, or 99.9% right of everything with Arsenal, and it's because they have club mouthpiece. They want to let fans know some information, like they want fans to know when we're eventually going to sign someone. So there are mouthpieces, and I think Lee mentioned it the other week, when you see the team sheet at Villa and stuff, and you see Saliba's not in it, and you sort of, everyone starts panicking. You go into the ground. I think you might have even mentioned the ground at Villa was a bit like, oh, we're not sure here because of all the late news on Saliba, etc. I think they've just gone, all right, let's let them know early. We know it's a big night tonight. We want a good atmosphere. Let's let them know early. Yo, by the way, guys, Rice isn't playing, just to let you know now. So later it's not a big shock and there's a big, like, sort of worry in the crowd. If that's my opinion on it. Obviously it's not factual, but judging from what I've spoken to and what I see, I think that's what it would have been.
Do you know what, Jack? That's how I felt about you. So, like, when that news came out, I was devastated. Like, you know, I was just going for dinner, and I didn't enjoy my dinner. Like, you know, I kept throwing my chips at Michelle. I was like really like annoyed about it. Like, you know what I mean? But the thing was, when we come out of that Villa game, Rob, remember we got out of the car, we was all buzzing and all that, and then we heard the news of Saliba, and we was down, and then you've only got like 15 half hour to get over it. I had 2 hours to digest it, get on with it, and then go to the ground, and then see the team come out and be positive when I walked into the ground. And I felt that the atmosphere yesterday was very, very positive around the ground, because I think people have got to use to that. Like, now, I get people are going to turn around and say, "Oh, well, Aston Villa, well, they knew about it as well." Well, they did, but it didn't do them any good, did it? We smashed them 4-1. So I think it was a good PR thing from the club. I listen, we know we're lucky when we go on these tours now. We get to a little bit of what goes on behind the scenes and all that, like, and there is definitely, like, you know, well, we'll help you if you help us, sort of thing, like, you know what I mean. And I think that was one last night, definitely, like, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
You feel the same?
Yeah, I think the club knew what they were doing. I think you're right. I think it's worse when the team sheet comes out and you see a big player missing. Like, by the time the game started, I was just kind of like, we'll get on with it. Do you know what I mean? You know, teams have missed big players. Like you said, Lee,
especially us.
A strong team. Yeah, especially us. But I think 9 of our full 11 pretty much played yesterday, apart from Calafiori and Rice. And I do actually think Nketiah might put a bit of pressure on Calafiori. I don't think he'll necessarily get him out, but it'll be a battle. So by the time the game started, I was just kind of like motivated and thinking we can still beat Villa anyway. And they had players missing. So I think it was quite smart from Arsenal. I think they did it to sort of let us get over the shock. And by the time you got to the stadium, you kind of digested it. So I think it was quite smart.
Okay, look, listen, guys, before we go, right, I want to do this, right? Obviously, we are at the end of the year now. It's, you know, we're about to go into 2026, and hopefully this is the year in 2026, the year in which we win the league. But because we're halfway through the season, it's time to do our half-year report, right, on certain players. So we'll go through them. I'll probably just, so for time-wise, I'll do a player, and then each person can give a quick score for that person out of 10. This is their half-term report that's going to be going to them, right? So first of all, half-term report, we start with you, Curtis. David Raya. out of 10.
I'd say 8 out of 10. I would give him 8 out of 10. I think he's probably the most consistent goalkeeper in the league at the moment. But at the start of the season, he didn't have a lot to do. We weren't even having a shot on target in some games. But his concentration levels, even the save from McGinn yesterday, I mean, I don't know how he misses that, but still reaction, and the one at the weekend, what he tips over the bar. So yeah, I'd give him 8 out of 10. He's been quality.
Okay, I'm gonna stick to mainly the players that have played mainly in the first team. Saliba, Jack.
Saliba, I'll give him an 8 as well. I think, like, pretty much what Curtis said. Start of the season, not conceded much. Obviously, he was without his partner throughout a few games and a couple injury issues, but solid Saliba, general 8, normal 8.
Okay, Mosquera, Lee.
7. Good basic start to his career at Arsenal. Very, very good. Very, very impressed.
Ben White, Curtis.
7. Yeah, hasn't played a lot, but looked decent when he came back in. Hopefully, he can stay fit till the end of the season.
Okay, Jack. Gabriel.
10. No, I'll give him a 9. Purely on the fact that we haven't won anything yet. But yeah, if we talk about 2025 instead of just these past months where he's been injured as a whole, Gabriel, yeah, my guy, 9.
Save this one for you, Lee. Piero Incapio.
10.
7. Listen, I think there's a sign of a good player. He's a little bit erratic at the time, but as like people have reminded me, Gabriel was like that when he first come in there. There's a player there. His athleticism, his pace, and all that. And I thought had a very good game yesterday. 7 out of 10.
Urian Timber, Curtis.
Oh man, 9. For me, I think he's one of our best players. I think he's world class. I think with Hakimi, he's the best right back around, to be honest. So yeah, just unbelievable player.
Lewis Skelly, Jack.
Oh, him a 7. I think he's been all right when he's called upon, but there have been some games where maybe he could have done a little bit better. But hey, it's as Lee said, it's one of the favourites. So yeah, 7 for Skelly.
Ricardo Calafiori, Lee.
9 out of 10, possibly bordering on 10 out of 10. I think he's been the most improved player at this Arsenal team. And I think that there were doubts going into him this season about playing left back. He's a standout candidate. 9 out of 10, he's been outstanding.
Okay, Curtis, Martin Odegaard.
Ooh, that's a naughty one. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt of what we've seen over the last few weeks. I give him a 7. I think there's still a lot of room for improvement. That what we've seen over the last few weeks, we need to see that consistently. That would be pushed way higher. So, 7 out of 10, I give him.
Jack, Christian Norgard.
What a player. 6. I don't know. He was all right as centre back that one game, and he was good against Palace in the cup, but he's not really had much to do. 6, just standard average.
Okay, I'm not going to do Ethan Wanieri. He's not had enough games, really. It'd be a bit unfair. So let's go Mikel Merino, Lee.
Listen, I don't think he's been great midfield, but when we've asked him to go up front, he's performed. He's helped us out. If we go on and win this league, you look back and go, when we didn't have no centre forward, he scored goals. So 7 out of 10.
Okay, Curtis, Martin Zubimendi.
I would give Zubimendi an 8. I think he's adjusted to the league very well. I don't think it's a coincidence that the guy we got in early adapted the quickest. If you look at Eze and Gyokeres came in late.
Great.
So yeah, I think he's getting better as well, by the way. I think he's improving. So yeah, 8 out of 10.
Eberici Eze, Jack.
Shock. Oh, you know what? I give him a 6.5. Purely, I was going to give him a 6, but that hat trick against Tottenham does hold some weight. So yeah, maybe 6.75, just under a 7.
Okay, Lee, Declan Rice.
10. No, nothing more said. 10.
Okay. Bukayo Saka, Curtis. You're getting all the hard ones, Curtis. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, man, jeez. I'm going to give Saka a 7. I don't think this is peak Saka, but he's finding his way back after injury. Again, I still think there's a lot of room for improvement for him. So 7, still positive.
Okay. Gabriel Jesus, Jack.
You know what? If I gave Eze just under a 7, probably give Jesus the same, just purely for the fact when he's come on, he's done well, but he's not had much to do with his injury. So yeah, 6.5.
All right. Martinelli, Lee.
7 out of 10. Champions League has been brilliant for us. I think there's a little bit of inconsistencies. I think the last couple of games he's played really, really well. And I thought that he probably should have started in this game, but Trossard produced a masterclass yesterday. So he's going to have to, when he gets in, he's going to have to play really well. So, yeah, and I think 7 out of 10 is not going to cut it. It's going to have to be 8 and 9s if you're going to stay in this football team at this moment in time. So 7 out of 10.
Leandro Trossard, Curtis.
Probably 8 out of 10. I'd say he's been our best attacking player. I would have probably given him a 9, but I think the numbers, if he'd scored a few more, but 8 out of 10, he was outstanding yesterday, by the way. That was one of his best games. Player that I would have probably allowed to go in the summer. So to be fair, he's answered his critics. So yeah, 8 out of 10, he's been really good.
Jack. Victor Gyokeres.
The one you've all been waiting for. Can I just quickly say, Leandro Trossard, 10 out of 10 for me. Most goals and assists as a player for us in 2025. Saka's not got more. Odegaard's not got more. Trossard has most goals and assists. So I just wanted to say that quickly. But Gyokeres, 5, maybe? He has scored. He's got 5 goals. So yeah, we'll give him 5 for the 5 goals he's scored.
He got out of that, didn't he?
Yeah.
All right, Lee, Noni Madueke.
That's a tough one, like, you know what I mean? I think he's done okay. You know, I mean, it's never easy to be the backup to Saka, but I think that when Saka wasn't playing, he got injured as well at that stage, when I think we weren't really missing him. Like 6 out of 10. It's been an okay start from him, like, you know.
Okay, and finally, for all of you, the manager, Mikel Arteta.
Ooh. 9.
Give us your reasons.
Yeah,
9 and your reasons?
Yeah.
Top of the Champions League, top of the league. I mean, what more can you ask for a manager standpoint? We're top of the table. We're still in the cup, which has been a while since we're still in the cup. So we're still fighting for every trophy possible. Give him a 9. Why not?
Yeah, I'm with that halfway through. There's been a few mistakes along the way, but you know that's going to happen. But top of the league, top of the Champions League, in the semi-finals of the cup. Listen, if you'd have said to me at the beginning of the season we'd be 5 points clear going into the new year, I would have took that. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for me.
I'll give him 8 out of 10. Top of both leagues, which is great. I still just think squad rotation has to improve. I think some of the injuries are avoidable. And I think take the shackles off this team. Because as we've said, when we play on the front foot, we've beaten everybody. You know, that I think a lot of the reasons that we didn't beat Liverpool, didn't beat Man City, is because we were too defensive. So I think he needs to look at games last night and go, this team is built to score goals. So I think that little bit of room for improvement, if we get over the line, then, you know, it'll be a 9 or a 10 out of 10.
Okay. And guys, one last thing. Going into 2026, can we do it? Can, come the end of May, Arsenal lift that Premier League title?
We've got. I'm backing us. I think, like, you know, we're the best team in the league. We proved it last night, and I think that this is our year. Yeah, come on.
I hope so. I mean, do I truly 100% think we will? Maybe at 99, but I hope that 1% of me can be proven wrong. I really do. So yeah, I'm backing us either way. I'll put all my money on us winning. Let's do it. Why not?
We have to. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
No, I
Like,
didn't
we've
ask
waited
you if we have
21
to.
years.
That's not the question I asked about have to.
Okay.
I said, what do you
So
think?
what's the question?
Do you think
What
we
do I
can do
think?
it?
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it. But then I thought we could do it last year and the year before and the year before that. So we always talk about boxing in those championship rounds. Like, that's February, March, April. Like, I want to see if Arteta can handle those pressure rounds. You know what I mean? I want to know, what do you think? You know what I mean? You're asking all the questions.
You know
I want to know what you
Curtis
think.
Starmer, you know, well done. You know what I mean? Because he's
No,
real politician just dodged the question.
no. Don't
Right.
ever call me
Right,
Curtis
because he
Starmer.
right now he's not answered. He's not answered the question. You know what I mean?
They're dodging. They're dodging and
worked his way
weaving.
Can we
around.
do it? Yeah, we can do it. Do I think we'll do it?
That's what I'm asking
I don't
you.
know.
That's the question I asked you. Do you
Okay,
think
so
we'll do it?
Okay, we're favourites. We're 5 points clear. So
Oh, look at this guy.
it's Arteta and Pep. I don't know, bro. That's
What do
an
you think?
interesting battle.
Yes or
Yeah,
no?
if you're putting a bet on today, yes
Yeah.
or no?
I'm not a betting man, Jack. I don't like.
End it. He's
Hi,
gone.
everybody. Welcome back to Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date.
That's back tomorrow, by the way, people. That is back tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm gonna back it. I'm gonna back it. I'm gonna say that.
Legendary.
I'm gonna say that. I think we'll do it. I think if what's encouraging me is players coming back. Obviously, we don't know, but remember last season at this time, January, that's when we lost all important players and it was over. It's a little bit different this year in that it's almost like those people are coming back now. And I feel that if they're all back, I don't see it. I'm going to give you the reasons as well. I feel two things. Players coming back and at home form. The home form is good, man. It's becoming a bit of a fortress, the Emirates, and that is important. If we can keep that going at home, I think we can win the league. So that's my answer to it. But listen, guys, Happy New Year going out to you. Happy New Year going out to everybody who watches and tunes into the show on a regular basis. We'll be back, of course, in 2026. And have yourself a great New Year's. Good health to all of you. Happiness, especially if Arsenal win the league.
Happy New Year.
Now, big up
Happy
to
New
you,
Year,
Rob.
everybody.
Obviously.
Happy New Year. Come on, you Gunners.
Come on, man. It's got to be the year, man. 21 years of pain. We need that title. We need the parade.
Happy New Year, everyone.